Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. You're older, but you're ready for a new career. Some careers are particularly boomer friendly. In fact, in some, your age is a plus. Let's start with some options for a minor pivot. Change your specialty to elders. This is applicable in many fields, for example, counselors and therapists, physicians and lawyers, for example, in elder law or estate law. Be a consultant. Consulting firms exist for everything from administrative assisting to software implementation, process efficiency to executive team building. Your years of experience give you credibility that a younger person can't have. You might not need to be a self-employed consultant, which requires marketing skills that many former employees lack. Marketing is the consulting firm's responsibility. Your job is going to be to provide the expertise that you've acquired over the decades. Now let's turn to some options for a major career change. Politician. Sure, young, pretty faces like Beto O'Rourke or Kamala Harris have an edge in politics as well as in life, but being older and less conventionally attractive is but one strike against you. Witness Bernie Sanders, Barbara Mikulski, and yes, President Trump. And of course, with government so mammoth, there are opportunities in politics from town school board to water board, from city council to state and federal offices. Another option is lobbyist. Many lobbyists, whether for industry or an activist group, find lobbying a rewarding capstone experience. And this is a field in which your age is a plus, both because of your experience, your expertise, and your acquired people skills, and hopefully patience, which is much needed when expecting government to change something. Another option, fundraiser. Most people with the money and wisdom to give away rather than spend their money are older and are more likely to trust an older solicitor. Image consultant and personal shopper specializing in older people. I had, for example, this is kind of a related career, I had a client in her 60s. Yeah, she looked great for her age, but she was able to get a job in a cosmetic surgery clinic to handle administrative matters and, importantly, to answer nervous patient questions. Her age there was a plus. Modeling. While many young people pursue a modeling career, fewer people who are 50 or older do, yet many ads and commercials are aimed at boomers and even at the so-called great generation. Sales of elder-oriented products. Perhaps less obvious than some are luxury items. Older people tend to be the ones that have accumulated enough discretionary income to buy luxury items such as luxury cars, boats, or airplane leases, architectural services, and commercial real estate, especially the really big-ticket items, big-ticket real estate like skyscrapers, stadiums, hotels, and resorts. Plus, aware of their mortality, some older people feel it's better to spend their money than, for example, to give it to their kids, which might thus encourage them to be lazy or even create the bite the hand that feeds you syndrome on baby syndrome. Another is insurance. Older people become more aware of their mortality, and they do. Again, older people are likely to feel good about talking about such matters with their age peers rather than a 20-something. Another sales opportunity for elder people is senior housing. Whether in selling or managing retirement communities, the aging boomer bubble means that if a person is saved up enough, there's lots of them that are flocking to the often quite lovely communities for older people that are now springing up. Durable medical equipment. Now, frankly, this would seem to be a psychologically difficult sort of sales because people who are requiring a walker or a wheelchair or a medical bed or a commode, alas, are not in good shape. I'd imagine that just as hospice nurses have to set emotional boundaries if they're to continue to serve without burning out, so must salespeople of durable medical equipment. When my mom was dying, I got to know both durable medical equipment people as well as a hospice nurse, and their calmness around death and dying seemed characterological rather than acquired. And a final sales opportunity for older people would be in funeral sales. Often the funeral salesperson deals with the older spouse or kid of the deceased, Being older may help you relate better to those people as well as to engender trust in them or trust from them. This industry has been subject to many exposés in which funeral salespeople are taking advantage of people at their time of stress. Please, as with all careers, keep ethics primary. You'll do well enough and you'll sleep better at night. You could, leaving the world of sales, you could work for, say, the Social Security Administration or other agencies or nonprofits aimed at elders. Government is considered less ageist than our other employers, and so that, plus the plethora of entities aimed at elders, could make that an often viable option. And finally, care manager. They used to call him geriatric care manager, but I guess because there are younger people who perhaps were in car accidents or victims of drug overdose or whatever that have become permanently disabled, they now call them care managers, and these people coordinate the help given to the elders or otherwise disabled people. They recruit caretakers, they may do paperwork, pay bills, and make periodic visits to the home to ensure that those services are working appropriately. Not surprising, that's work that being older should be a plus. Now let's talk about if you're looking for new work. If your new career, the career to which you aspire, requires someone to hire you rather than you're being self-employed, these tips should help. Harvest your people, meaning one of age's advantages that you've had a long time to accumulate people who like and respect you. They're often key to getting hired, especially when you're older. So query the 10 to 20 people who most like you and are in a position to refer you to potential employers. Ask crisply, not desperately. For example, after 20 years as a self-employed counselor, I would enjoy using those skills working for a government agency or a nonprofit that serves older people. Might you know somebody I should talk with? Now, it's unlikely that they will at that moment have somebody for you to talk with. So when they say no, ask if they might keep their ears open for you, and if you haven't landed something in a month, if they'd mind you circling back. Most will agree, and now you've recruited a number of scouts. No deceptive applications. Don't try to hide your age in your resume or LinkedIn profile or cover letters. Sure, that might land you an interview, but as soon as the interviewer sees you're older than your application implies, they'll feel deceived and so be unlikely to hire you. A solid resume, LinkedIn profile, and cover letter, and especially having a person refer you for that job can often enough land you an interview without you having to claw out of the hole you created for yourself with a deceptive application. Preempt ageism. Sure, as soon as an interviewer, especially if it's a younger one, sees those wrinkles, many of those employers will be thinking, nope. Of course, they won't say that, if only because it's illegal, but chances are, unless they too are a boomer or at least a Gen Xer, they're going to be thinking it. Preempt that objection before it becomes ossified. At the earliest opportunity in the interview, sell your age as a strength. Start with something. I imagine you're wondering whether you should consider a gray hair like me. I might mention that, and then you can cite one or more of the following that are true for you. I'm technologically up to speed, for example, and then you might insert some software you know is important on this job. Or, my years of experience will be valuable in this job. I've often addressed problems like those likely to come up here, and give an example. Or, over the years I've developed quite a network of people I can call on as customers, suppliers, source of advice, and to recruit people to come work here. Or, I'm in good health and excited to hit the ground running. I'm a good fit for this job because, and then give it a reason. An example. Or, because all my kids are grown up, I won't need to take days or even parts of days off for childcare. And a final thing you might want to cite is that being older, I've gained some perspective, which enables me to keep a steady rudder when problems come up. Now, honestly, career change is usually hard. And the older you are, the harder it tends to be. But as you hear life's clock ticking, you may feel it's worth going for a last hurrah. Maybe you will have saved the best for last. I hope this little talk helps. I thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko. I'd welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down, your comments, your hitting the share button to share with your social media, or even subscribing to my channel. In any event, thanks again for watching. I am Marty Nemko.